The Sentinel exhaust brake system by Bundy Motors is easy to install. It can be installed in less than an hour. And it doesn't matter what size it is, whether it's the BM 4400, 4500, 4300, or the 4350. They all can be installed in less than an hour. Now, I did a video down at the Bundy Ranch where I installed one of these things and got down and dirty. And I want to use that video to give you some instructions, some tips, and also to just show you how easy it is.
Ready?
So everything you need to install the brake system is in the kit. The kit consists of the brake itself assembled. It's going to have a jumper harness, the main harness, some zip ties, butt connectors, and some shrink wrap, and the bands. Just everything you need is simple. You're going to need to measure the brake and decide where you're going to cut it. The instructions are available to you. Once you get it cut, maybe clean up the ends a little bit, slip one side on, then slip it over the other side and get it centered. You want to make sure that your exhaust on both ends are in far enough. And then you're going to band both ends. And you want your bands to be centered. And I do want to say that if you can weld these, the front side at least, we like that. We recommend it if you can. Here I didn't, obviously, and the bands work good too. You just got to make sure you get them really good and tight. And once it gets hot, you got to go back underneath there and re-torque them. And but it's very simple. You do want to make sure you get the bands centered between the brake and the exhaust, so it's nice and centered, and then just crank those babies down. And you'll see how they're creased in the middle. That means you're getting it really good and tight, and they're going to seal.
You sure that's not going to have a problem with the drive line? Yeah, okay.
I'm actually going to go down like this.
And go down over frame.
Crank it down hard, really hard. And then again, you got to go down there once it's hot, been hot, and crank it down one more time if you're going to use the bands. Then you're just going to run your jumper harness in a good spot where they're not going to become loose or rub on something. Connect it together. Use the zip ties and come over the firewall and down and through the harness port there, and connect it to your main harness. The main harness is very simple. It's going to have a positive, which on the new BM 1001 harness, you're going to go to key on with the power and then to a solid ground. And with our other harness, our older harness, it doesn't matter. It can be key on or constant.
Want to find power?
So find your key on power or your constant power.
Test light. Power Pro works good too.
And just splice into that with your red wire on your main harness. And then splice into a solid ground. You're going to install the switch just by drilling a small hole in the dash. Very easy. And your brake will work awesome. We are very excited about our new controller, and it pretty much installs and hooks up the way our old one does, except a couple things. The red wire needs to go to key on, meaning when the key is on, there's power into that circuit. When the key is off, there's not. Of course, just ground the ground to a solid ground. This one also runs off a on-off switch. We give you in the kit a push button switch. Easy to install. It illuminates, but you can use any switch you want, even if you have a dash switch already in your dash. Also, the green wire goes to your throttle control, because this thing is automated, making it very simple to operate, very simple to run. And basically, when you push the throttle, the brake disengages. So you can keep the switch on, you keep the brake on while you're actually just doing your normal driving. A couple tips, really just simple. You can see here that the jumper harness connects to the main harness very simply, and we recommend that you use the shrink tubing that we put in the kit, put it together, pull it over, heat it up. Now, we've used this simple connect jumper harness because it's very easy to run through the firewall or to route it. It's reinforced, it's protected, it works awesome, and it's easy to install. And once you shrink tube it, then it's not going to come apart and it keeps drying. So, a couple tips. Of course, we have butt connectors that are heat shrinking as well for you to use your connectors, and we put zip ties in there just so you have everything you need to install it.